Ni hao, nin hao, hello, welcome back to my channel. If you've watched my very first video, then you know this is my second, and it has nothing to do with the previous video you watched. This is a totally different one, and today I just want to share about my experience learning the Chinese language. Go ahead and answer some of the questions that have been asked personally by people around me or by people who've just known that I can speak Chinese language. And by Chinese language here I mean Mandarin Chinese, which is what I studied, and it is what I communicate with the Chinese people in. So I am not in a position to tell you anything more about the other dialects that Chinese language has, but I am going to talk about Mandarin, which is the official language in China and in Taiwan, mainland China and Taiwan. I have so many questions that I'm going to answer, and maybe this will be a part 1, and there will be a part 2, and probably a part 3. First, I want to say that I am not a professional Chinese tutor or anything of the sort. I am just sharing my experience and trying to share knowledge and share information concerning Chinese language, because I know many people would like to study the language, but they don't know where to start from or why in the first place should they study it. And another reason why I felt like I need to share my experience is because there is like a misconception. Should I say a misconception? No, let me just say it this way. Everyone out there knows that Chinese language is hard to study, except probably the Chinese people, which is, it's their language, so they don't feel like it's hard. But from my experience, I know that even the Chinese themselves, they know that Chinese language is, it's hard. Yeah. But anyway, without further rambling and talking nothing that makes sense, let's get into the very first question. I have my notebook with me, and I like what is written. It's like, open your heart to the beautiful world. You can see that, open your heart to the beautiful world. It says, precious friendship. I believe that even though we don't remind of the word love, we already feel that way about each other. You will always have a special place in my heart. Oh, so sweet. Anyway, I bought this myself, but I was to gift a friend of mine, but I ended up gifting them something else that probably I thought they would like more than this small notebook. So we're all friends, and we're here to help each other. Even if we're not friends, we will still help each other. So let's go. The very first question, I have a list right there. I have written them down, explanations and all that, just because I want to keep a record of what I have shared without repeating myself in the future, because honestly I don't think after putting up this post I'll watch it anytime sooner. So let's get into it. The very first question that I encounter daily is it easy to learn Chinese? Is it easy to learn Chinese? And I will use Chinese here referring to Mandarin Chinese. So is it easy? Well, yes and no. It is easy if you are committed to doing the work to make it easy to learn it. That means if you are committed to reading, to listening to a tutor teach you, or online lessons like mine that will come soon, then it will become easy. If you have the resources and if you commit yourself to doing it, yes, it is easy. And no, it is not easy if you decide, I want to learn how to write the Chinese characters as quickly as possible. Yes, I will talk about the Chinese characters later, but I just want to answer the questions first. So it's not easy if you jump into the characters, learning the characters, writing the characters, or reading the characters without any prior knowledge of the building blocks of the Chinese characters or the Chinese words. So yes, it can be very difficult and it can be discouraging when you've set your foot to learning Chinese and then you find that in 3 months' time you have not learned anything. So yes. The next question is, how long did it take you to learn Chinese? Probably you're asking the same question, how long will it take you to learn Chinese? Well, for that question, there's no definite answer. It depends on an individual, and it depends whether you are self-studying, that is, you're learning by yourself, or you're being taught the language. For myself, to speak Chinese language, the basic conversational Chinese, it took me 8 months of class, with each class being 4 hours a day, from 8 to 12, Monday to Friday. Each day of the week for the very first semester, that is 4 months, and then another 4 hours a day each day of the week for the second semester, the fall semester. So I studied Chinese language for 8 months. Definitely there was a break in the middle, and then I managed to take HSK3, which means HSK stands for Hanyu Shui Ping Kao Shi. That is the test that is taken to test your proficiency in Chinese language. So after those months, I took the HSK3, which is, it's literally basic Chinese. So for conversational Chinese, that is how long it took me. But to speak as should I say, as fluent as I speak at the moment, it took me 5 years of being in China, definitely using Chinese language, Mandarin, daily in my communication with people, and another, we are in 2019, so, and another, I should say 5 years being in constant communication with Chinese people. So I have been speaking Chinese for 10 years now, and to be honest, there are some things that I still find difficult to express myself. So I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I'm working towards it. And that brings us to the reason why I'm actually sharing my information, because I believe the more I share, the more I do research on this Mandarin, the more I find myself speaking it more, interacting more with people, finding answers, and therefore improving myself. So That is the answer to the second question. The third question: did you study Chinese in Kenya? Yes, I know there are so many colleges or universities offering Chinese language in Kenya at the moment, but I did not study in Kenya. I did not start my Chinese classes in Kenya. I went abroad to China, definitely, and that is where I started my Chinese lessons. As to how I went to China, that's a story for another day, and we'll discuss it some day later. Yes, and probably I will start speaking more Chinese on this channel for yourselves to practice with me. For example, when you listen to me, we can interact together in the comment section, and everybody wins. For example, I am speaking in Chinese, you're listening, and you're learning something from me, and I can also learn something from you in the comment section. So it's a win-win for everyone. The next question is, how did you learn Chinese? Well, some of these questions might be a repetition of what I've already said, but no worries, this is a first video. Excuse me, sorry, this is a first video we are doing, and definitely it's not the perfect one. We are learning, hey. So how I learned Chinese is I started by attending a class that was, I started by going to class where we had, at the beginning we had 3 tutors. The very first tutor was teaching, we call it oral, that is like speaking Chinese. The second one was teaching Chinese characters, and the third one was teaching a grammar. So I'll just steal a bit of your time to say these 3 in Chinese. So the first one was Kou Yu, that is oral Chinese. Then the second is Hanzi, Chinese characters. The third one is Yufa, grammar, Chinese grammar. So I went to a class, we had sessions, or rather like lectures, probably you can call that. We had the 3 spread out. For example, today if we had 8 to 12, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m, they would split them into maybe two hours each. Maybe today we would learn Koi and Hanzi, and then the following day we would learn Yufa. But it was really interesting because I had the urge to learn the language, because that is what I was going to use for my major, that is the medium of communication, that I would sit in a class being taught something different, not definitely Chinese, and the tutor would be lecturing in that Chinese language. So I was so passionate about it, and I wanted to grasp it as soon as possible to enable me go to the next level of my studies. That one also will come later. I'm sorry I'm saying everything I'm touching on will come later, but because I can't put it all in one video, definitely. Wow, this is the 3rd time I'm saying definitely, but it's okay. Let's go to the next question. Do you know how to read and write Chinese language? Yes, I know how to read and write Chinese language. To read, probably there might be some words that are unique, like a new word, and the same way sometimes you don't know how to pronounce a word in English, same way it might get to me seeing a new word for the very first time, or rather it might not be for the very first time. I might have seen it but forgotten the family that this character belongs, and not really forgotten. Well, not really forgotten the family, but forgotten the you might know the family by checking the radical, but forgotten the pronunciation, or it might be so complicated that even trying to know the family it belongs, because it might have 2 or 3 radicals combined together, so it might get a little bit hard. To write Chinese, yes, I write Chinese characters. There's some words also that definitely I might not know how to write them, but when I know the pinyin, I can definitely type it out, and there I will be, or there you go. I'll have typed for you the Chinese word. The next question is, are you fluent? Am I fluent? I leave that for you to answer me as we go along the videos that come in future. And then somebody asked, how long will it take me to speak Chinese language? That one I'll go back to the answer I gave to the question, how long did it take you to learn Chinese? How long did it take me to speak Chinese language? To learn Chinese, okay, yeah, I understand this question now. Okay, how long will it, oh no, I'm sorry. How long, the question is, how long will it take me to speak Chinese language? That is someone who asked me the question. I will say it should depend on your passion and your commitment to learning the language. To speak, basically, going by what I've seen most people do, if you have a 30-minute session of studying Chinese, and you let's say you studied, if you have 30 minutes and you studied for 5 days a week, and then let's say the whole year, 12 months, you have basic conversational Chinese. Yeah, you'll be like, you're just blabbing Chinese. So basically it's all about your commitment to studying it. The next question is, does Chinese language have letters like the English language? This question is common because everyone wants to know, how do people get to draw these characters? How, in fact, my friends and some people I know tell me, those are drawings, those are not even words. So yes, there is a standardized system of writing Chinese, which is called the pinyin system. The pinyin system has letters that are put together to form syllables, and once they form syllables then those are what will form the Chinese words. We'll get in depth on that. The next one is Chinese language even a real language? Like, those are just diagrams, those are not, it's not something you can speak, it's not something you can use for a conversation. But yes, Chinese language is a real language. It is one of the 6 UN official languages. It is the official language used in China, mainland China, Taiwan, and it is one of the 4 official languages in Singapore. Yes, so you know, it is a real language. It is being used, and you can imagine about 1.4 billion people speak it in the world. So it is a real language. And then, are there other languages in China? Yes, there are other languages, but I will not say languages per se. I'll say their dialects, and we will get into that to talk about the dialects. I've said in this channel we are going to talk mainly about the Mandarin Chinese, but I'll tell you more about how that subdivision came in, like where did the dialects that surround Chinese, or rather that form part of the Chinese language, come from. So yes, there are other languages or other dialects, if you may, in the People's Republic of China. Yes, those were 10 questions that I have been asked, mostly by people around me, by my co-workers, by friends and family. So if you have any more questions, kindly comment in the comment section, and I will go through each and every question, analyze it, and be able to answer you guys. Till next time, for you guys will see each other on Sunday again. Thank you for watching. If you've reached this point, if you liked it, kindly give this video a thumbs up and share with your friends, that we may grow a community of enthusiastic Chinese Mandarin learners. So goodbye. This was Mandarin with Tossie. Till next time, bye bye. 再见。你好，你好，你好，你好，你好，你好，你好，你好。So much fun. See, this page, this page, this page, this page, this page, and we will continue. So till next time, goodbye.